Two, I'm an idiot. Did we start the finance 6.1 number 2? Because I kind of remember seeing Affirm buys 12 file cabinets for 140 each. I think I remember seeing that, but I don't remember how far we went with it or if I assigned it, and I apologize. I didn't write anything down. Did I do the whole thing, or was it just the front? Thank you. All right, so let's see. Today's the 28th, 27th, 26th, 25th, 24th. So 324, I assigned it. Okay, so let's run through it. So I'm on, I wish I had a page number to tell you, but at the very top says Finance 6.1 number 2, or in your guys' term, hashtag number 2. Does that make sense? Did I say that right? There is no hashtag 2 stirrup. What are you talking about? All right. Let's dance. All right, so did I go over any of these problems yet? I don't recall, because that would have been Thursday last week, and I kind of have a fog. All right, so problem number 1. If I do a problem that we've already worked on, just let me know. So Affirm buys 12 file cabinets for 140 each. So 12 at 140 each. Okay. The bill will come due, and they have 90 days to pay for this bill. How much must the firm deposit now to have enough to pay the bill? Oh, thank you. You guys are the best. CP Algebra 1, we'll let you go through the whole class. All right, now it's on. How much must a firm deposit now to have enough to pay the bill if the money is 12% per year? 12% per year. And then we have to use a 360-day calendar. Okay. I think I remember doing this because it's like, well, duh, it's 365, not 360. But the first thing is we have to convert the 90 days over 360 days. So that's going to become 1/4. So this is 0.25 of a year. Okay? So which equation are we going to focus back on using? I think is it simple? Because we don't have a compounding, right? I mean, it is compounding, but it's not like quarterly, monthly, daily, or anything like that. 12% per year. Cool. So it's this one. So it looks like we have to figure out what is 12 times 140. Does someone have a calculator, including the one on your phone? Because 1680. Okay, so that's how much they spent. So 1680. E stays as the exponential. We have a rate of 12%, so that's 0.12. We're going to multiply that by 0.25. And can someone do that on a calculator for me? Keep that whole thing as an exponent. 1731.16. Did I hear that right? Perfect. That's not too bad. Okay. How do you avoid paying more than what you pay? Pay for it all out. Pay cash on the table. That's something we could actually talk about a little bit. You know, save. If you see something you want, save for it to pay outright. Don't get sucked into payment plans. Okay, you pay more than what you should pay. All right, this one says find the future value if $5,100 is invested for 4 years at 9%, and it says it's compounded continuously. So that's still going to be this equation. Okay, the continuous goes along with this exponential. So I'm going to go 51, E raised to the 0.09 times 4. Help me out. Point. I have it written right? Yay. Cool. Good investment? Well, you made more than what it was. But again, one thing you need to look out for. Does what you make, you want what you make to be bigger than the cost of living expense. So if cost of living is 5% and you're making 3%, your money's not doing what it should. Yeah.
What's like a good amount to have saved for retirement? Like just in general.
You want me to run through the quick retirement for you?
Sure.
Okay. Pretty simple, easy. Pretty simple, easy. All right. So we're going to start you at age 20 to start saving. Sound like a plan? So probably about 2 years from now, roughly. Okay, for most of you, probably somewhere in there. So I'm going to go to apps under finance. We're going to something called the Tvm Solver. Okay. All right. So from age 20 to 30, 10 years. Still with me? So 10 years, 12 months. We're going to have 120 payments what we're going to make. So from 20 to 30, we'll be probably starting out a career. You probably have a little extra money. Let's just stick with a really let's go with an aggressive index fund, which would be about 9.2%. You know, just mutual funds, as a sense, large cap over the longevity is looking at 9.2%, which is bigger than the cost of living, which is great. So we're going to start with a previous value of nothing because we just turned 20 and Stirrup told me I need to start this, and we're going to start saving $200 each month. Put it away. Following what I'm doing so far? So I'm going to go $200 120 times. Okay, still with me? And that'll be at age 30. Okay, so I'm going to find the future value. P/Y is going to be 12. This is usually always 12. The two last ones are usually 12. Ignore the fact that you have a negative number in there. Don't worry about that. So I'm going to go second. Nope, I'm going to go alpha solve. So that's going to tell you that 10-year time got you $39,143. So I'm going to change this to $39,143.51. Okay? So now we're going to go from age 30 to 40. Now, from 30 to 40, you would probably be making more money. You might, if you're choosing to be starting a family, you might have little ones. I don't know. I don't know what your plans are. But because we're making more money, for the next 10 years, we're going to up our payment to $400. So my $39,143 is going to build, making $400 extra for the next 10 years, 120 payments. So then I can say, all right, so $400, yes, I realize right now this seems like a lot of money in your 30 to 40 range. It should not if you are being fiscally conservative with your money. Okay, again, the 12 stay the same. I'm going to find the new alpha value. So now in this 20-year span of time, we're up to $176,165.42, 43 cents. Okay? All right. I'm now going to change this value because we are how old now? We're 40. So from 40 to 50, we're making pretty good money. So we're going to up this to $600 a month. Okay, 600 out of 120 payments. Go back here, and I'm going to go alpha solve. So that's putting me over $500,000 that I've saved. Now we have our last 10 years because we want to retire when we're 60. Okay, and this is a very simplistic thing. For saving, it's not hard to do. 32.44. We're now going to raise this up to $1,000 a month that we're putting away, because Stirrup told us how to pay our house off quicker than a 30-year mortgage. So now you no longer have a mortgage payment. So we're upping this to $1,000 a month. And let's see where we're going to get to. Alpha, enter. So that got us up to $1,590,828.40. And that's at age 60. Now our money is going to pay us back. Now, let's do this. So for 120 payments, what was our initial, did we start paying? 200? 200. And then I did another 120 payments. How much? So this is from 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50. What did we raise this up to? 600. And then from 50 to 60, we're going another 120 payments at 1,000, we said? Okay. We'll do that math in a minute. All right, so now, Stirrup said I can retire when I am 60. Okay. 1590828.40, rounded up to the nearest penny. We want our future value to go down to 0. Okay, so from age 60 to 90, we're talking about 30 years. Agreed? So now I'm no longer putting money in. What I put in is going to pay me back. Does that make sense? Yeah. So I'm starting with $1,590,828.40. So from age 60 to 90, we're talking 30 years, and there's 12 years or 12 months in a year. So you're talking about 360 payments that we're going to pay us back. Okay, we're still staying in this particular thing, so our money is still making interest. We're just no longer investing into it. So we have to figure out how much they're going to pay us back. So we've saved this now from 2060. Okay, so it's got 40 years in there. We're still earning a nice interest, even though we're not putting the money into it. I want to figure out what my money's going to pay me out so I can get a future value in 30 years down to 0. Okay. So alpha, enter. So we are going to get $13,029.75 per month paid back to us. We're going to get 360 of these payments. Okay? Now let's do the math. Okay? So this is a nice calculator to generate. So let's just run through things that I know. I'm going to go let's clear out this. 120 times, 120 payments at 200 plus 120 at 400 plus 120 at 600.
Put it in as 40, not 400.
Oh, thank you. That's going to make a difference. Second, insert 0. 120 at 600 plus 120 at 1,000. So this number is going to be how much money did we physically put in? We physically put in $264,000 to get up to the what? $1 million? All right, so hang on. So this is what we put in, 264. And I didn't put it in all at once. I gradually increased it over decades. Okay? So that's how much money out of pocket we went with. We $159, $1,590, $828. 159. Is that right? 1590, sorry. Ah, my gosh. Stirrup's dumb. 1590,828. This is our net worth. If I subtracted those two together, it looks like I'm earning about $1.3 million in interest, roughly. Now, so this is what my net worth is. Now watch this. I'm going to take, this is how much I'm going to get a month. 13,3029. 13,302.75. And I'm going to get 360 payments. Now, again, we aren't putting money in. Our money we put in, including the interest, is paying us back, but our money is going to continue to make interest because it's sitting in that account. We're just taking a paycheck from what we saved. So 13029.75 times the 360 payments. You're gonna like this. So the payout. So we had that million plus. They're gonna take $13,000 a month for 30 years. $13,000 a month. You're talking about a lot of money. So the payout of what I originally put in, my original $264,000, is going to pay out in the lifetime of it until you're 90. So from 20 to 90, you put in. At 60, you start taking out. You're not putting any more back in. $4,690,710.
How does it go from the 1.6 million to the 4.7 million?
Okay, so now you have this sum of money. You million plus.
Yeah.
You're going to draw 13,000 off of that, right? Mm-hmm. Now, think about what $1 million makes in interest.
Oh, because it keeps on doing it even while you're taking it out.
Yeah. So if I were to say to you, hey, you need to come up with this game plan to put 264,000 from 20 to 60 into an account, increasing it each decade. 264,000 turns into 4,690,710. Now, here's the thing. Let's say you don't make it to age 90. That money is going to go bye-bye. This is now set up as a trust, so your beneficiaries get that until the payout at 90. I just showed you how to be a millionaire in a pretty simplistic way. And to retire at 60. Now, some people will say, oh, I can't survive on $13,000 a month. Really? Because $13,000 a month is $156,357 a year. Triple. Huh?
Does that get taxed?
Yeah, but there's ways. There's ways. There's things that you can itemize, and those are things you look at. And there's different ways, different types of accounts you can play with that'll make this work. Offshore accounts, but you can also do Roth. You can do Roth IRAs where you pay the tax in the beginning and you don't pay the tax on what you make at the end. You can tax defer it, meaning you don't pay the tax in the beginning, but unfortunately then you pay the tax at the end. And there's different ways those accounts work better for you. If I were to do something like this, I would not have it into you don't keep all your eggs in one basket. The sad thing is a lot of people will look at the thing on the stock market and you'll take a snapshot of, oh, look at this year's time. Well, it shows that it's gone down a little bit. I mean, if you take COVID, the market dropped down to 19,000, but jumped back up into the mid 30s. Now, fluctuates up and down, but for the most part, it's relatively stable right now. I know people are pointing fingers, this fault, that fault. The thing is, you don't have any control over, the leaders of the country until you go to vote, and then whatever the vote takes place, if it goes the other way, well, if you sit there and too many people will dwell on, oh, my favorite person didn't win, I don't like this person. Be honest with you, my entire lifetime, when started in 1970, I can't find one person that I think, hey, they were a valid, great person, as far as an elected official. The closest one that I came to was my junior year in high school. I met Senator John McCain, who had run for president. He was a senator of Arizona, and there was things that I liked about him because he worked with both sides of the aisle. Though he was Republican, he worked with the Democrats and vice versa. And a lot of people, got all mad because why would you vote this way with this party? And it's like, let's play the game, guys. He's a guy who was in the Hanoi Hilton prisoner of war camp in World War II, had the opportunity to get released early because his father was the highest admiral in the Navy. And he said flat out, I don't leave until all the prisoner of war leaves. He could have gotten out because of who his dad was, and he chose to stay and be tortured and starved and all the other horrific things that would come with being a prisoner of war. And that was just something I kind of had respect for him. Not saying that, trying to affiliate, but there's stuff I knew about the guy. But, yeah, winter taxes, yeah, they're there. But there's definitely things, but this is just a very cheap layman's version of, and you would, I'm sure, would do something a lot different to be more successful. Move the decimal one place over more to the right because you're thinking about it. Because now you start thinking, going, okay, what happens if I start saving now? Give me an extra 2 years. Good. So I'll just tell you, I'm 51. My game plan is to retire at 60. I will get state retirement from the state of Nevada as well as the state of Colorado. And I also do supplemental savings on top of it. I think I'm okay.
How do you get retirement from both these things?
So state employee of usually any state is if you work 5 years or more in a particular state, then you're vested into their state retirement. So I worked 9 years in Nevada, but it looked like I worked 14 years because I was a hard to fill teaching position. So they paid me 1.4 years towards my retirement for every year I worked. So when I turned 60, they just changed it. It was supposed to be 54, and the jerks changed it. I'm going to probably change again. But they'll start paying me 34% of what my highest yearly average was. That also includes the cost of living for all the years that I didn't live there. And then here, I will have 25 years in. So that'll pay me about 75% of my highest paid years, including the cost of living adjustments. So, and then I saved on top of that really aggressively, especially not having a mortgage. We act like we had a mortgage and saved. So I'll just say this, I'm not worried about where I'm going to eat dinner when I retire. But a lot of people say, oh, you teachers don't make enough money. Somebody who understands money and lives within their means. The teachers that say, oh, I don't make enough money for what I do, they don't know how to live within their means. So that's the long and short of it. Should we just finish 3, 4, 5 tomorrow? Just keep teaching us this syrup. We're gonna be millionaires when we retire. Good.